Energy. Energy is something we have a funny relationship. You see, the body thrives on having this good balance and getting the energy throughout the day. And then in the evening, we want to have lower energy. But a lot of people I speak to start off the day with no energy, and then they get to the evening and they are totally wired that they can't get to sleep. And this can be a problem, not just for short term, but for your long term health as well. And I know many of the clients that I work with get super frustrated when their energy drops in the middle of the afternoon, or it might be in the morning. And I used to suffer from this a hell of a lot. Hence why I could probably write a book on getting all day energy. In fact, I've written a book called The One Day Body Upgrade, which talks about energy in there as well. And I'm just going to go through a few little things that add up and make this complete big picture. Because I totally believe that health should not be overwhelming. Even these intricate things that I work with clients on balancing hormones, getting good levels of sleep, removing brain fog, and getting your productivity levels literally through the roof, they should not be overwhelming, especially when we take a step-by-step approach in order to move forward. Now, with your energy, what is something to note is that our normal circadian rhythm does include a slight drop in energy mid-afternoon. So in fact, it is normal with our normal body clock, our good functioning circadian rhythm, the time we wake and the time we go to bed, with our energy throughout the day to have a slight drop, but definitely not the amount that so many people suffer from. And what I look at is that many people are suffering from this. But as I say with other things, just because something is common does not make it normal. So here's how you can actually stop yourself suffering from this. The first thing is to manage your blood glucose levels. Now, with your blood glucose, and this might seem scientific, we have a certain amount of, when we have food, sugar gets into our bloodstream. We then have to release insulin to pick that sugar up, take it to our cells or to different storage sites to do the work. Now, if this sugar is left in the blood for too long, in fact, if it's in the blood, it's actually seen as a toxic substance and can cause problems with different organs, can cause problems with brain function, and cause other inflammation issues within the body. Taking a lot of science out of that. So we need to have this insulin to grab that actual sugar, take it to the cells, and get that to do its job. The problem is, with a lot of our diets, and what a lot of people see as healthy, is that our blood sugar levels are going up and down all throughout the day, having quite high refined carbohydrates that are pushing these blood sugar levels too high for our body to actually get that insulin and get that sugar into the cell. Also, stress impacts this as well. Stress will increase your cortisol levels, which we need in the morning. So we need cortisol levels to wake us up. But as a result, one of the prime functions of cortisol is to boost our blood sugar levels. So we can then take that sugar to our limbs, to our eyes, to actually make our vision clearer, to get our thoughts clearer, all these different things to actually run away in that fight or flight mode that I'm certain you must have heard of. And it will take blood away from our gut, from our reproductive hormones, and all these areas which is not really seen as essential if you're being chased behind from a lion. So that is looking at managing your blood glucose levels. We do that by simply looking at stress levels and perception of stress, and also looking at what we are eating. So I recommend testing your blood glucose levels through the day, first thing in the morning, testing 3-4 days in a row, and just see where they're at. You want to have about 4.2 to 4.9 with the UK measurements. In the American measurements, between 80 and 90 is a good place to be sitting in for your normal fasted blood glucose levels. And then we look at testing around through the day. But that's another thing. The first thing is just to see where you're at first off for that baseline level. The next thing is looking at your sleep trends. Are you really looking at high levels of screen time, high levels of fake light before bed, within the hour or 2 hours before bed? What can we do to adjust that? Are you looking at stressful TV shows, looking at the news, all these things that spark fear and potential anxiety into your mind, which then play on your mind when you're sleeping? How is your food like around sleep? Are you having large meals before bed? Are you having alcohol before bed? All these things can show a massive or have been shown to have a massive impact on your sleep quality. And then come into blood glucose levels. If you are waking up during the night, to go to the toilet, or you're one of these people that wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. in order to go to the toilet, then chances are there are some underlying causes going on in the body. Inflammation, but more than likely blood glucose problems, mismanagement of blood glucose levels. Hence why I always look at that first. The next one is hydration. When we look at actually getting water into our body, unfortunately, tap water isn't enough nowadays. There's so much more contaminants in our tap water. Now, yes, occasionally drinking it isn't going to be massively an issue depending on where your health is at, but filtering your tap water and adding some hydration drops. My clients have recommended energetics hydration drops. And also, if you can't get hydration drops, get some rock salt, put a little pinch in the water. Not so much you can taste it, but just a little pinch of rock salt, pop it in the water, and you'll be able to start getting some more minerals to actually get that water into the cells. Especially if you seem to drink a lot of water and it goes straight through you, it will really, really help. Pointless drinking the water just for it to flush through your system. The next one is movement, and the final one here with movement that we're going to touch on today. So many people look at exercise as a way to make them healthy, which it should actually be. But a lot of us are too stressed for these exercise sessions we push. Hence why a lot of clients that I have maybe will pull back in that slow down to speed up way, where they won't do as harsh sessions. They're not going to do 2-3 classes back to back. They may not smash out some high intensity training or anything like that. Simply going for a walk, getting some movement. Yes, there are definitely times when we need to have our heart rate raised, but a lot of us are doing too much that we cannot recover from the next day. So if you need help with this, if you're struggling with your energy going up and down throughout the day, waking tired and wired by the time you get to sleep, drop me a message and we can talk further about this, because I guarantee the things that I do will help you if you implement them. I'll repeat, they will help you if you implement them, and they do not need to be overwhelming. You can just do one step at a time and start building up and building up. Because what's the point of doing every single thing, being overwhelmed and